Welcome, 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 everyone. This is a special show today. We have a very special guest, and the topic for today is one among the most requested topic about immigration in Canada. There are so many questions we are going to ask our guests. The question like, what are the ways you can be able to go to Canada? Rather you can say, what are the programs you can be able to use to go to Canada? But how easy or difficult it is for someone to go to Canada. Also, we'll be talking about the life in general. What is the cost of living, the adjustment? How can you be able to move from one job, from the normal, general, odd jobs to the professional jobs? But what is the weather? Because sometimes people are talking about the weather and it's cold, but are you able to sustain the cold weather? We have a special guest who is going to answer all these questions. But the most importantly, how are we going to avoid the scams? There are so many scams around, and people are getting scammed about the ways to go to Canada. So today we're not talking about America. So don't ask any question about the United States of America, because our special guest is living in Canada under the special programs, and he's a resident in Canada. So he's going to walk us through about the ways one can be able to go to Canada. And first of all, he's a YouTuber. So let me start with that one. So will you please introduce yourself, Joyce?
Hi, everyone. My name is Joyce K, and I live in Canada. I live in Ontario. Ontario is a province in Canada. Let us make it clear here that Canada has got provinces, and like USA where they have states. So I live in the province of Ontario, and I live in the rural part of Ontario. So thank you so much, EBM Scholars, for hosting me today.
So number one, before we go any further, on the comment, I pinned the comment. The first comment is to go to subscribe to Joyce's channel, or just go to the Google search or YouTube and write Joyce K Nurse Canada. You'll be able to go to her YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel is so dedicated about Canada and other countries. But if you want to know anything about Canada, we have the expert today. I usually don't want to pretend I know everything, but once you have the expert, is the best way. So number one, subscribe to Joyce's channel, and you can go from there. Okay.
Thank you.
I have so many questions. The interview will be into two parts. The first part, I'm asking questions. The second part will be reading questions from people from the audience. And the third part will be giving you the opportunity to ask me questions. So those are the three parts interview. Are you ready for that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let me start with the first question. You just said you live in Ontario, in the rural part.
Yes.
I have two questions on that. What is rural life in Canada versus the rural life in Africa? For those who do not know, you are from East Africa originally, and particularly from Kenya. Can you describe the rural life of Canada, how it is?
Okay, I come from Kenya, and the largest section of my life in Kenya, I lived in Nairobi. So I'm going to compare Nairobi, which is known by almost everybody, to the rural part of Canada, or rural part of Ontario, where I live. And, you know, first of all, Canada is a very big country. One province in Canada can swallow the whole of Kenya. Actually, Ontario province is bigger than the whole of Kenya. So saying that, you already know that the rural part that I live, as in if Nairobi was to come here, would be like one street of the rural part of Canada. So the fact that I live in the rural part of Canada, it is things that you'll not see in Nairobi. You know, technology, lifestyle, schools for the kids, universities, hospitals. It is, I don't know, there's nothing like that in Nairobi. So despite the fact that it's in the rural part.
It's not a rural in Africa where you have to go 10 miles, kilometers to get some water.
There's nothing like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And for me to come from the rural part of Ontario to go now to the main town, which is Toronto, I can either use the road, which is around 4 hours by the bus, and I can also take a flight, which is around 35 minutes. And if I have to drive, I'm not a very fast driver, but I drive in at least four hours. I drive in 4 hours. Yes.
Okay. So I want to make sure that people understand when we talk about rural, because one of the misconception when people want to come to these countries, I want to go to live in Chicago, I want to live in like exactly at Paris, but the outside of the town, life is so beautiful compared to the big town. Sometimes it's very complicated depending on your job and your lifestyle. So, and especially when you have a family. Yes. And another thing you mentioned that also you are living in Ontario. We know Canada, some people they do not know, they have provinces which they speak English and there are provinces which they speak French.
Yes.
Explain to people, what is that province language-wise? Is it French or English? And what are the people who can come to Canada? What is the likelihood of succeeding if they do not know French? How do they need to know which states or, I mean, provinces should go?
Okay, first of all, Canada is a bilingual country. The two official languages are French and English. But we have a province that is called Quebec that only speaks French only. It's very rare to find somebody who is speaking English in Quebec. And for that matter, the government of Canada has allowed Quebec to manage its immigration on its own. So in all the programs that we'll be talking about, we are not going to mention Quebec a lot because Quebec, it's like it's on its own, mainly because of the language.
Yes.
But because Canada government has also realized the advantages of French being a language in Canada, and as we all know that French is very important, even in the UN, it's one of the main languages for you to get employment in the UN. So it has started integrating French into all the other provinces, so that they have increased more programs for immigrants who speak French in other provinces, you know, just to allow people to start getting used to the language. But that does not mean that somebody who doesn't, like me, I don't speak any sentence in French. Yes, but even though that is the case, my children are fluent in French. Why? It is because I chose to take them into French elementary school from nursery, which is the kindergarten. So in Canada, there are three types of school. You can take your child to a government school, you can take them to Catholic schools, and you can also take them to private schools. So in the private schools, you have to pay, but for the Catholic and for the government schools, those ones you don't pay. However, in all those schools, they have got schools which are English, plain, full English. There are other schools which are French immersion. French immersion means those kids, they learn 50% French and 50% English. And there are also other schools that are 100% French. And that is where I decided to take my kids so that they can get the challenge, so that they can be fluent in this French. Because I noticed that when a kid is fluent in French, they stand very high chances for many opportunities. So the question was whether somebody who does not speak French can still immigrate. Yes, they can, because somebody like me, I'm an immigrant, I'm a skilled immigrant, and I suit very, very well, and many other Africans who are here. Yes.
Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. So let's go to the main part of the interview.
Yes.
Because everybody wants to go to somewhere. This is a globe. And I usually tell people, when God created man, told go to the earth, multiply, conquer the world, whatever it is, God didn't say go to Tanzania. God didn't say go to Nairobi. You were born there because your parents were there, but you are allowed to go anywhere around the parts of the world. So, but in order to go to another country, you have to follow the immigration procedures. So let us start for your story. How did you go to Canada as a professional? Before you go to talk in detail about the ways.
Yeah, I'm actually a registered nurse, and I trained in Kenya. So I came like more than 8 years ago. And during that time, there was a program that was called, it was like a general program. And then they were inviting, or rather that time, skilled immigrants had opportunities to come to Canada, especially the careers which are in demand. And as we all know that nursing is in demand in most of the countries, it was in demand in Canada. Although I was not the main applicant, it was actually my spouse who was the main applicant. So because we are both professionals, we were able to come as a family. And then that is how I came. But after that, there are other programs that have come up, so many of them. But I know you know the main one is the express entry, which is mainly done by the way of points. It's not the same way as US, because I know USA it is lottery,
yes,
whereby you either get or not get. But in Canada, the express entry is based on merit. It is based on merit, and it is under 3 classifications. The first one is for skilled immigrants, the way I came. The other one is for trades. Trades is people who have got no education. They only have up to the minimum they are required to have is at least secondary education. But on top of that, you must prove that you have skills. For example, a driver who drives these trailers, those trailers, you must have special skills for you to drive them. So those ones are in high demand. You could also be a chef. You could also be an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter. Those are trades. So there's also that program. And there's also another program for Canadian experience. This one is for somebody who finds themselves in Canada. They have a work permit, or they're here in essence of being as an international student, and you want to become a permanent resident in Canada. Now you can also apply under that. So generally in Canada, we talk of having status as somebody who is either a Canadian citizen by birth or by papers. And the way you can become a Canadian citizen through the way of papers or as an immigrant is that you have to come as, you have to have a permanent resident. A permanent resident, I would compare it in the US as a green card. Actually, yes. It is like a green card. So when you get that permanent residency, it's like you get a card, a small card that shows that you're a permanent resident. So when you become a permanent resident in Canada, you're treated as a Canadian citizen. All the benefits of a Canadian citizen, a permanent resident has. The only difference is that they don't have the passport. And for you to get a passport, you're required to come and live in Canada as a permanent resident for at least 3 years cumulatively. Then you qualify to apply for the passport and you become a Canadian citizen. Yes.
That is very, very good. You have touched very good points. President Trump, while he was president, he was planning to end green card lottery and to introduce the Canadian version of the merit-based immigration. Personally, I like that one. Some people, they don't like that one, but merit-based immigration is the most guaranteed for many people than the lottery system. So if we can start with that, can you explain, because I already made a video about the merit-based, but the points are going to be mentioned. What are some of the points? Or some of the areas? I know there is education, age. On your case, what were the main points which helped you and your husband?
The main point for us, it was, first of all, your career has to be in demand in Canada. And we call them NOC codes. In case you have done your research on the way you can come to Canada, you must have come across NOC codes. NOC codes, it is a code given to a nurse. For example, like me, I'm a nurse, so there's a code for nurses. So that code has to be in demand in Canada or in demand in the provinces, because all the provinces are given opportunity to bring their immigrants depending on the careers that are in demand in that province. And a career to be in demand in that province, it means that that province has realized that if we invite more immigrants, coming from this particular type of career, they are going to help. Of course, the idea is to build the economy of that province. So for you, first of all, let me explain what is express entry. Express entry is like a pool. It is like a pool where everybody in the world, based on merit, it doesn't matter whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're yellow, but everybody in the world has got equal chances of sending their applications to that pool. Then once you send your applications to that pool, your points are assessed based on your age. The younger you are, the more the points. You don't have to be very, very young. It's actually from 21 years, between 21 years and 55 years, you have very many points. And then also your education level, the more you're educated, the more the points. Your years of experience, the more years you have, the better. If you have experience in Canada, you have even more points than somebody who has experience outside Canada. So all these points are put together, and then you are supposed to accumulate at least 470 points. 470 points. And now this has been the trend, and this has been the way the program, the main program that the Canada government has been using to bring immigrants into Canada. But I think along the way, they realized that it was so hard for many people to acquire 470 points. If you have tried to apply to come to Canada through express entry, you must have noticed that for you to attain these 470 points, it's not a joke. You need to have a degree, sometimes a master's.
Most likely.
You need to be very young. Your spouse needs to be educated, and even yourself. You need to be excellent for you to
and
get.
Also, sometimes to get education in first world country, it helps.
Yes.
But if you get in Canada, it's extra.
If you're educated in Canada, it has got more points.
Yeah. If you speak French, extra.
Yes. They realized that this system or this program was so hard for many people, and now they started introducing other programs in form of pilots. A pilot is a program that is being tested. Maybe they give it for 5 years. And now they told the provinces, now the provinces can come up with programs depending with the needs of the province, and then they can be coming to this pool and pick immigrants from this pool according to their needs. Exactly. So you realize that there are so many programs. That is why Canada immigration confuses so many people. It is because of these pilots that the provinces have to help them to come and pick people from the pool. Because remember, it would be so hard for everybody in the world to send their applications to the pool, to the provinces directly. But now when the pool is controlled by the federal government is the entire Canada. So when the pool is managed by the federal government, the provinces will now come to the pool and pick you from there according to, if they want more nurses, if they want 100 nurses, they'll come and pick 100 nurses. If they want 10 doctors, like that. So each province manages its immigration differently. And on top of that, there are also smaller communities in the provinces. Like where I live in a very small community in Ontario. And in Ontario has got five communities that are participating in this program for rural. It's called Rural Northern Immigration Pilot. It's a pilot that is running for 5 years. So these smaller communities, they also have their needs inside the province. They also have their needs. And now the same communities will now go to the main pool, which is the express entry, and pick immigrants from there. And then on top of that, there's also another one for Atlantic. Atlantic are those countries, the 4 of them that are in the North Territories. They also have their way of getting the immigrants. And of course, we also have the international students. Guys, Canada needs so many immigrants. Like in 2021, they announced in the beginning of this year, if you go to my videos, you're going to find that video there. They announced and said that in 2021, they want 400,000 immigrants to come to Canada. In 2022, they want 400,000 and I think 200. And then 2023, they want more. They want more. The reason is because Canada is, as I told you, is a very big country. And then it has got a lot of population that is aging. So many people that are retiring. And these people who are retiring, they need to be replaced. Actually, you're going to find that in most institutions, you'll find a very old grandmother is a receptionist. They cannot retire because there are no people to replace them. You find that in the mining, there are very old men who are working there because there are no young people to replace them. The community, even I think their people are, I don't know where their people are, because it does not mean that they don't give back. Their kids are there, but they're not working. So they need immigrants. And by the way, just to let you know, Canada is a country of immigrants. Actually, somebody said that everybody in Canada came from somewhere.
Exactly.
The only people that didn't come from somewhere in Canada, they are called Aboriginal. Aboriginal people in Canada, they live in now Diparulo, somewhere where they are managed separately from us. Actually, they rarely come to where we are. They live somewhere where they are, after the colonization, they were put somewhere in the country. Those are the Aboriginal. And very people don't know about the Aboriginal. So the rest of us, whether somebody is black or white, we are all immigrants. Yes.
The difference is when did you come? Someone came 1950s.
When did you come?
Another time.
Some people came through their great grandparents. Great grandparents, when Kenya didn't know about coming to Canada, other countries had already come and established. Otherwise, when you look at their history, you find that they are also immigrants.
Thank you for that very good.
And that is why there is no racism in Canada, IBM. There is no racism in Canada. It's very rare to encounter racism. Myself, I have never come across racism for the many years I've been here. My kids, we keep talking and they tell me they have not come across, they love Canada. And even if it is there, it is so hidden. It is not like other countries. And I think that is why everybody wants to come to Canada. It is so inclusive. And you'll find that there are so many people who are white and they cannot make a sentence in English, surprisingly. Yes. You know, people think that Africans are the only people who cannot talk English.
Oh, there are so many people here.
So many white people who cannot talk English, and they're in Canada. So don't get intimidated.
Thank you so much. That is a very good clarification, and I believe people will be able to do that. One of the way to know a lot, just go to Joyce K Nurse Canada YouTube channel. Every program has been well explained there. Subscribe to the channel, comment there, ask any question. She's very good into responding to people's questions. Not like me, I can respond, but not like her. She's very good in responding to questions. So subscribe to Joyce Canada YouTube channel, and there you can be able to learn in detail every single point she has been able to make it.
Thank you.
The other point I usually talk about international students. Just to find the scholarships. I've been focusing more on scholarship because I'm the beneficiary of scholarships. I came in America for the first time 2008 through scholarship. Then I went to another program through scholarship, another program scholarship, then permanent resident, then I become a US citizen. So I know a lot about citizenship, scholarships, whether in the US, whether it's in Canada, whether it's in Europe, Australia, New Zealand. I'm not focusing scholarships in China or South Korea or going to any African country. I'm focusing more on the first world. That's what I'm doing. But usually I tell people, if you get opportunity to apply for scholarships or education, you get Canada, US, and Europe. Number one country to consider, I usually tell people go to Canada. I want you to correct me if I'm correct or wrong. And the reason being, the transitioning from being a student to permanent resident in Canada is very easy than in US for 2 or 3 reasons. Number one is, if you're an international student, when you graduate, you are given a work permit of 2 years just to get work experience. In the US, we call optional practical training, OPT. But in the US, it's 1 year. But in Canada, by having the OPT, it is easier to transition because you are priority, because you're already in Canada, you studied in Canada, and you have work experience in Canada. So it is easier to transition to Canada to become a permanent resident. what you have been explaining or learning, is that true or not true on your experience for someone for you who lives in Canada?
Yes, that is very true. Very true. You're 100% true. What happens for international students in Canada is that there's a program. There's a program, not even one. There are so many programs that absorb international students into permanent residency. So that you find that when you come, and by the way, just to hint you a point here, when you're coming to study in Canada, when you're doing your selection for your program, the one that you need to come and study here, do not be guided by how much money that you pay, because I know that is what most people look at. Do not be guided by whether the province is cold or hot. Your guide should be, is this program going to lead you into getting permanent resident? Because it is not all the programs. It is not all the programs that are going to lead you into getting permanent resident. So how you do this is that you have to make the IRCC your friend. IRCC in Canada is the official immigration website for Canada. And under that, you will find that all the universities that have been allowed to, to accept international students are there. That is not enough. All the programs that the international students come to study have been put there, and the ones that have been the ones that are going to lead you into having a permanent residency are there. You could come and pick on a program, and that program is not going to be eligible for you to have a permanent resident. You can imagine how frustrating it is. That is why we have come out openly to tell people the truth. Because you can come, and you can imagine the school fees in Canada for an international student, it is 4 times more than that of a local student, 4 times more. And that is why I insist that if you have at least, if you have a way of coming as an immigrant through express entry or the other programs that you can come as a permanent resident, the better. Then once you're here as a permanent resident, you're going to look for a way of going back to school. Because when you come here and study as a permanent resident, you're going to pay the same school fees as a Canadian citizen. Actually, you will pay it's like peanuts. And on top of that, you have grants. The government gives you grants to study. The government gives you a loan called HELP. And this loan is like HELP. Did I say HELP? HELP is for Kenya. They are going to give you OSAP. They are going to give you OSAP. OSAP is the loan for you to go to school. And this OSAP is calculated according to your income and the size of the family. So if you have a big family, you'll find that the government is going to give you more grants than the
how much when you go there?
The fee, yeah. So when you come here, make sure that you are doing a program that is going to lead you into getting permanent resident, and unless you're coming and then hoping to go back home. And I know majority of the people who are following us on YouTube are the people who want to come and remain in Canada. I have done a video on how to remain in Canada as an international after you get you do your graduation. So what happens is that after your graduation, you're supposed to get a postgraduate work permit. Postgraduate work permit in Canada is given according to how many years you were in school. If you're in school for 1 year, the government is going to give you 1 year postgraduate work permit. If you were in school for 2 years, the government is going to give you 2 years to 3 years postgraduate work permit. If you're in school for 4 years, the better.
For PhD,
so 4 years. Yes, the longer, the better. So what I always advise people, do not come to do short programs, especially programs which are below 1 year. It is a risk, a big risk. Oh, it's a risk. And even that 1 year is a risk. If you're coming as an international student, choose a program which is at least 2 years. The reason is, what happens is that, remember, after you graduate, there's at least 4 months for you to get there. They actually 90 days for you to get the graduate work permit. So you remember that we got, after graduation for 1 year, you studied here for 1 year, so you got 1 year postgraduate work permit. So we are working with 12 months. The first 3 months, 90 days, you are waiting for your postgraduate work permit. You cannot work before you have the permit. So after you get that, now you at least you have a chance to apply for permanent residency. For your permanent residency to go through, it will take you 1 year. So what is going to happen? You'll find yourself in Canada on the second year illegally, and you cannot live in Canada illegally. So what are you going to do? You'll be forced either to go back home or to pick on another program to at least have one program each year for 2 years, so that at least when you study different programs for 2 years, 1 year and another 1 year, that is 2 years. That one, they'll calculate it as 2 years. So in case you find yourself in Canada doing one program, make sure that after that one program, don't rush into applying for permanent resident. Add another 1 year for study. It means a lot. So that after you add that 1 year, now you have 2 to 3 years for you to do the process for permanent resident. Yes, and permanent resident is going to take you around 1 year. And now with COVID, it is even longer.
Yes. And to add on that, one long time I made a video about the list of the universities which have scholarships. These are very competitive. Remember, the problem of many people in Africa, I can start with the Tanzanians, I'm giving you an example, we are so slow. We don't want to follow all the procedures. There are people in China, when they say international students, they don't care where you're coming from. So someone from India and someone from Kenya or from Ghana will be treated the same. So if they tell you, take the English proficiency test, make sure you write a resume in a competitive way, you need to do that. If you don't do that, there is someone in Nigeria is going to do that. So they're not going to take you just because you say you are orphan. They don't care. So you need to be competitive on this scholarship part. But also there are other ways, especially if you have already good degrees, find a way on how to learn to follow through these programs like Express Entry and other programs at the same time.
Yes, so yeah, that is what we said. You have to be very careful when you're choosing your programs. There are also scholarships in Canada, and there are many. So, but you know, as you have heard EBM's scholar say in his, I love his videos. Oh, that is how I came looking for him. I love his videos because he has so much knowledge for scholarships, so much knowledge. If you're following him, you can never go wrong. And if you follow those steps for applying for scholarship, because there's a way. I didn't come as a scholar through scholarship, so I don't know so much about scholarships. But I always have to look for people like him because I cannot know everything. But when I go to him and he's full of resources in that area, I learn so much. So, so you have to follow him for scholarships for sure. Scholarships, they are very competitive because the whole world is looking into them. Yeah. And I thank God that he's mentioning that he's also starting a scholarship, and we are going to support him because we need to support our people in a big, big way, because Canada education, and even in states, it is very expensive. But however, all that said, remember you have hours for your work. When you come as an international student, at least you have 20 hours to work every week.
Actually.
And that one is part-time. So, I also forgot to tell you that after you graduate, after you get your postgraduate work permit, you'll be allowed to work full-time now. Full-time means you can work 30 hours to 40 hours. The maximum you can work is 40 hours. The minimum is 30 hours. And it has to be a full-time job so that you'll qualify to apply for permanent resident. This job that you're getting, make sure that it is not a seasonal job. Because in Canada, there are so many seasonal jobs, from picking berries, the jobs for tractors that clean the roads during snow. Do not pick on those jobs. Make sure that the job is permanent, meaning that it is not seasonal. Make sure that this job is a full-time, and pension. Make sure if you can be able to join a union, the better. But make sure that at least you have a very stable job, because it is going to count towards your permanent residency application.
And I correct me. And also, if the job is related to what you studied, also is increasing more chances than I'm giving.
It is increasing more chances.
You studied human resources, and you are going to work as a cleaner. That doesn't relate. But if you work in the same or similar companies in the similar field, that helps a lot.
Yes, make sure that you are working there, and also make sure that what matters a lot is the NOC code. the NOC code that you're getting experience in Canada, that NOC code has to be one of the codes that the government wants to give permanent resident. It is not all the codes that the government wants to give permanent resident. There are those ones which are in demand, like people who are coming to do IT, people who are coming in healthcare. IT will never be, will never be anything to be down looked upon. The IT will always be in demand, and healthcare.
And my fellow African, I have to tell you the truth. Forget about these courses about sociology, whatever. Yes, they are good, but they're not solving the world problems in most cases in these countries. You come with these courses, it's very difficult. Even if, like myself, I come political science, so am I going to be a mayor? No. That's the difficulty. But if someone here is having a degree in IT, can be paid more than someone with a PhD in political science.
Oh, IT people are earning over 200,000 per year. Yes. IT people are, somebody who has done computer science, software engineering, they are earning over 200,000 Canadian per year.
Yeah.
Some jobs they're earning even $70 per hour or $90 per hour. Good money.
Yeah. So those are the things we need to look at when we are studying. And even when we're looking for scholarships, more those kind of courses will be able to help you down the road more than, because some people, when we choose this course, we think about Africa more. I want to become MBA. Okay, so what are you going to suggest business? Are you going to suggest business to Bill Gates? He knows his stuff. So basically, let's find what will be able to work in those countries better than what we have. So let's go to another question, which I have. I still go to ask more questions before I bring other people, because some people, they have so many questions in the comments, but I wanted to go through a list of some questions. Okay. Majority of people in Africa are coming from the weather which is tropical. Western countries, depending on which particular area. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but you had hung a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, I think there was a network problem, something, it went blank. Yeah. So I was saying that majority of the people who are applying for these programs are coming from most of tropical countries, especially if they're coming from Africa. But some countries in Europe, obviously, they're getting used to the cold weather. And even that's why some people, they just want to go to California or Florida, wherever these states or areas where we don't have snow, but it's very expensive. But we know for overall is Canada is cold, cold, cold. But I know even within the Canada, it depends which area you are when it comes to cold. How was it for you? You are, and just being okay to be okay with the weather, and it transitioned from the tropic Kenya to winter, heavy winter of Canada in general?
That is a very good question. And it was not funny. It was not funny because I came here in summer and I really enjoyed, because the houses are beautiful, the roads are beautiful, everything is exciting. I was so excited. Wait until October, November. The snow, the first snow, I was very excited. The kids were very excited. But after that, the snow falls, my friend, up to 14 centimeters deep. And then I'm I'm not even driving. I am not driving. I have to wheel my kids to school with a stroller. Crazy, crazy weather.
Yes.
Yeah, I think your network was going. It's okay. I'll still continue. Yeah. So the weather is crazy, and that was part of my culture shock, and it was so scary that I went back home. I had to go back home. I said, this thing, I don't want it. Let it go to hell. So I went back home and I could not withstand the snow. But anyway, after I went back home, I waited for the kids to grow a little bit, because that time I think the main challenge was because the kids were too small. So after 2 years, because remember, when you have permanent resident, you're supposed to be in Canada for at least 2 years consecutively for you to renew it.
Yes.
So I knew I had 3 years to play with. So I went home and stayed for 2 years. Then I came back now and I continued. But anyway, it was not funny. I would tell you that you should be ready for the snow. But once you get used, like now, I am excited. I love it. But you get used with time. The kids love the snow. The kids are excited to play in the snow. Yeah. But for the adults,
enjoy a lot.
The kids enjoy a lot. Yes.
Yeah. So people should not be scared. Yes, it's the weather. Just like in our countries, it might be raining a lot. Yeah, so we have to get used to it, and that's the life.
Yes, we have to get used to the heavy the weather, the more the money. If you want the money, come to Canada.
Yes. And another thing, can you talk about the overall cost of living? Because some people, let's say, they come as a student, or they just come as express student, but you don't get a good job right away. How is the cost of living in general, like apartment, just normal utilities? How much per month someone average can be able to spend, and when you get the job, will you be able to sustain the life?
Okay, that is a very good question, and I have actually done a video on how much you spend in Canada and how much you can be able to save. Because the minimum income in Canada is, all the provinces are different, but for Ontario, it is $15 per hour. So with $15 per hour, and you can only work between 30 to 40 hours, you find that you cannot live a very comfortable life compared to somebody who is doing a serious job in their future profession. So I always advise you that when you come here, don't stay for so long earning that minimum. Do something about it. Go back to school. The good thing about Canada is that there are so many opportunities. You can go back to school. You can even start your own business. The government encourages people to do their own businesses, and there are so many programs. I have already done that program where they train people on how they can start their own business. I did a program for 6 months, and it was all paid by the government, because they want to teach us on how we can do business. If you're looking into exporting goods from Canada to Africa, like I have done a video on how you can be exporting used clothes, mtumba, how you can exporting used clothes. Those businesses are here. How you can be exporting, house appliances like the fridge, the stove. You can do a lot of businesses here in Canada, and I have done all those videos. So I want to encourage you that when you come, you are going to struggle to survive with a $15 income per month. But with the time you work hard, go back to school. If you're coming as a couple, the better for you, because remember, a couple earns more because of 2 incomes. But when you come here as a single person, you have to work extra harder compared to a couple. It is hard work. There's nothing easy. It is hard work. Yes.
Related to that, just like the starting with, and I usually tell people, when we come to these countries, we should not just have one thinking of getting employed. Yes, it's good because it's a straight income, but also let's find a way on how we can employ ourselves by having businesses. That's why you find there are some of other immigrants from other countries. They might have bigger businesses or bigger apartment complexes or truck or something like that. That means in the end, they have more tax benefits, and the government supports those people more than someone who is employed. So as immigrants, we should not just think about employment all the time. Let's start aside as a side hustle, but let's grow to find a way on how we can also become business people, because that's how these people in these countries they do a lot. And the governments, for instance, like over 60% of US economy depends on small businesses. So I believe in Canada, it's the same or similar. You find that they encourage people to do their own business. And after pandemic, that's even better. There are more opportunities to do your own businesses.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Let's go to another question. The other question is, two related question. Sorry. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's
my
okay,
internet
I can hear
is.
you. Yes,
Sorry.
I can hear you.
I was saying, my next question is the cultural question, and it's divided into two. Number one, if a person either is coming as express entry or any program, student visiting, whatever it is, what are the things you will tell the person to avoid to do in Canada? Either will delay that person to succeed or will put the person in trouble. And related to that, what are the things will be the good way for someone to have a very good success in Canada? If I come today, if you say, okay, if you do 1, 2, 3, 4, you have a very guaranteed way to have a very good success in Canada. What will be those kind of things?
I think it is the same thing we were saying. I would say that for the people that I have seen succeed very fast are the people that don't stay stagnant into one place. Make sure that you can find opportunities to go back to school, because education is everything in Canada. The more you're educated, the more the chances you have. Also consider which are these jobs that are going to give you opportunities to work and expand yourself. Like nursing, we all know either in US or Canada, you'll never fail to find a job. And it is a career that helps you grow step by step. Look for those careers that can help you not to stagnate. Look for careers that are going to help you to grow.
I think my net
to grow. Yes, I can hear you. Look for those careers that are going to help you to grow. Do not get stagnated. Yes, don't stay in one level for too long. Yes.
And what about the issue?
Something else I need to say here, EBM scholars, is that when you realize that you have some light at the end of the tunnel, for maybe you're using express entry and there's some light, you can see for sure I'm coming to Canada. Start doing your paperwork for your career. Send your documents especially for the careers which are regulated, like nursing, teaching, lawyers, engineers, plumbers, all those careers that you need a license to work in Canada. Make sure that you start the process of registering to get your license before you arrive in Canada, because it is very involving. You can find that you have taken 3 years waiting for a license because they'll keep asking you, this form that you sent, the principal in your college did not sign. This form that you sent your employer in Kenya did not sign. So it is better that you start sending those documents early, way before you arrive in Canada, so that by the time you come to Canada, you get your license very fast. You don't have to work the manual work for too long. If you are coming as a nurse, send your documents to NNAS as early as you can, so that by the time you're arriving in Canada, your documents are now going to the province for license. So that in case they ask you for any verification from back home, you are already in Kenya, you have not come here. If they tell you we need something confirmed from your school where you went, maybe your college or your work area, you can run because you're already in Kenya. But people like us, nobody told us those things. So when we came to Canada, we had to spend so much money, and some, relatives also get tired when you send them too much. I was lucky because I had a sister who was very supportive. Yeah. But you can come here in Canada and then all the time you're sending your relatives, go to, like me, I trained in Meru. I did my first nursing in Meru. And my relatives are living in Nairobi. So I always used to send somebody from Nairobi to take a bus to go to all the way to Meru to go and have a form signed. And these are things that I was supposed to have done before I came to Canada. So if you're coming as a regulated career, make sure that you start your paperwork way, 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 way before you come to Canada, so that you don't waste so much time. Yes.
Okay, that's very, very good advice. And the other things, if you can mention just in a very high level, things about just normal, not all people. Nowadays it's okay. Some people, when they come as a couple and they have children, sometimes how to raise children, yes, you can continue to be the same, but the lifestyle here is different. Some men in Africa, they don't cook or they don't help anything in the kitchen or helping with the children because we have access to have maids or people to support us. But here is a little bit different. How are you going to explain people to have that kind of adjustment to be able to help their kids changing the diapers, sometimes cooking, whatever, while another person is going to work, things of that nature?
Yes, that is a very important question, EBM, because here in Canada, as we all know that very few people can afford house girls. So if you come as a couple, if you come as partners, you need to be very supportive to each other. If it is the man, here you have to drop your ego. That ego of Kikuyus that you cannot go to the kitchen, you cannot change diapers, you have to leave it back to Kiambu there. Because you're going to kill your wife. Otherwise, most couples come here and they find that they are divorcing because the man cannot cope. The woman gets overwhelmed. You know, first of all, the culture is already stressing. New environment, you know, the work with the kids, everything. The language, the accent is also stressing. Everything is stressing. And then if you don't give each other support, you can easily ruin the family. So I want to encourage the men, support your women. If you come to Canada, you're not going to become any less by cooking. You're not going to become any less by helping your children. After all, it is the peace of the family that you're all looking. If you want that peace, I'm talking from a point of a woman. If you want me to give you peace, then you also have to give me support so that I also have time to love you back. So it is about support. It's very important.
I want to ask you this as the last question on my part. Then we'll go to questions from the audience. And this question is about the scam. There are so many people, they get confused. I agree, the Canadian immigration is a little bit easier than US or going to England. But people take it lightly, that they think that you can just apply, just like how you apply to go to the primary school and you just get in. And there are so many scams organizations online. Someone tells you, oh, just send me your Form 4 certificate and you'll get $5,000 by becoming a security at this hotel. So there are those kind of a lot of scams. So people, when they get caught by, oh, Canada is a big country with a small population, and they end up to get scammed, a lot of them. How do you to know how to define and to avoid the scams, but at the same time to be able to this kind of right information?
Yes, thank you so much, EBM, for that question.
Are you able to hear me up to that? Because
yes, I had
my camera is not working properly.
Yes, I had everything, but I have noticed that when you look at the camera direct, it doesn't move. I think we can try that. But I was saying that that is a very good question, EBM scholars, because what I would say about scammers, it is that it is true. It is so rampant. It is so scary. You know, I have a YouTube channel and I get those questions every day. I am going to say that if somebody tells you that they are going to give you a job in Canada, Let them give you the job, but do not pay. Because there is no employer in Canada who is going to give you a job and ask you for money. Actually, especially I know the ones that are scammed a lot are the ones who are coming as nannies.
Yes.
Yes, the ones that are scammed highly are the ones who are coming as nannies, caregivers, the ones who are coming to pick berries, and the truck drivers. Those jobs for trades, those are the ones that are highly scammed. And so most of these jobs, the government requires the employer to provide for everything. They should not ask you for any money for the application of the job. And sometimes even the employer can send you even the ticket to come to work. So you should not pay anybody any money. Oh, I don't know, there's the application fee. I don't know, there is what. And Canada has gone ahead. Canada government has gone ahead and provided for you registered or regulated immigration consultants that have been given a specific number for registration to deal with the immigrants. And you're going to find them under IRCC, which is the official website for Canada Immigration. It is under canada.ca. You're going to find all their names there, all their email addresses there, and their phone numbers, so that you can just pick on one. And I also did a video, and I explained I gave out the agency that I used, because when I was coming to Canada, I used an agency to come. So I did a video on the agency that I used, and I gave people the email address. You can go to my channel and watch that video. But it is also important to note that it is for skilled immigrants. It is not everybody. They only deal with the skilled immigrants. The trades, as I said, if you have skills, and also if you have education. So it is very careful. It is very good that you be very, very careful. Do not pay anybody money. Do not pay anybody money. How you're supposed to get jobs? Because for the rural programs and for the province programs, most of them have got every province or every community has got its own website. And in that website, they have got job banks. I always advise people that make sure that you apply jobs from the job banks that are within the communities and the provinces. Those ones are good because the communities and the provinces are always checking for scams. They're always removing the scams. They manage the websites. So it is very rare for you to find somebody who is conning you. But if you use the Indeed, the general one that is Indeed.ca, it's really good to find scammers. Yes, but the ones that are managed by the provinces and the communities, those jobs, it is very hard for you to find scams. But all the same, we have said, do not pay. Don't pay anybody. I have done so many videos on ways you can come to Canada. I have done more than 150 videos. I think more than 200. So take time, go watch my videos. Click on the playlist. When you click on the playlist, I have put all the videos on playlist so that you follow from the beginning, from when I started. You go watching all of them, and then you're going to learn so much. I'm going to answer all your questions there.
And that's what I usually tell people. If someone, you have to pay that person. If you have, pay the person in person, like after arriving, not like Western Union. If like you say, no, okay, it's 500, okay, I will pay after being in Canada. Process everything, because most of these programs, I pay you to get a job. In normal life, you don't get a job at a commercial bank by paying them to hire you. No. Why do you need to do that if you go to apply to Canada? Unless otherwise, that's what I say, like most of these jobs, especially when they hire foreigner, it has to go through process of the government and go through embassy. So you have to be very careful on these kind of scammers. You'll be paying a lot of money to some people, and then you don't go anywhere, and you get upset.
Yes, that's
so. Yeah, so people, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Okay. Things I want to go to the comments or to the questions. Okay, so one. Okay. Sorry, people. My internet, I'm using Wi-Fi and is having a problem than if I usually plug direct to my computer. So that's the problem. So Jackson Mnyika say, hi, Joyce. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Hello, guests and EBM. Roll with Liz. Liz is a YouTuber. Usually have so many videos together.
Thank you.
Jackson, yeah, was saying hi. Okay. Someone watching from Sierra Leone, Komba. Okay. Okay, this person is asking about green card lottery. Okay, if you have a mistake in if you have a mistake, just put the correct name and just get the affidavit from the lawyer. I prefer people not to ask questions about green card. Today we are in Canada. So ask me any question about Canada. Yeah, so that's what I preach. EBM. Okay, there are so many people. Most of the people today will be from West Africa because of the time difference. Okay, someone need the passport. Yeah. So let me find some questions, first of all. Hello, Joyce and Ernest. Happy to see you. Thank you.
Nice to see you too.
Okay. People, today I'm not answering this green card question. I'm answering questions about Canada. So if you want to ask a question about Canada, let's go and ask a question about Canada. Okay, let me find the questions. Okay, Chinenye, I think this will be from Nigeria. I really want to relocate to Canada with every fiber of my being. Please help. So, number one, the easiest way to help you, just go to your youtube.com and search the full name, which is Joyce K Nurse Canada. You'll be able to find all videos step by step about going to Canada, and you'll see which one you qualify. And if you have a specific question, you can be able to put in the comments and she'll be able to respond. That will be the best way to start. Betty's for
That's Betty. Hi, Betty.
Yeah, I'm going to do interview with her. And especially, I wanted to ask more questions about foster parents, and because some people do not know how rewarding it is supporting those children under the foster families.
People can subscribe to Betty AZ. I did a video. Oh, let me just mention here. I did a video with Betty AZ on her channel on how to come to Canada, and it was in Kikuyu. So run there and watch that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Betty, you are doing a great job. I commented it to her and gave her my email that she can contact me, then you can do the interview with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You already answered this one about the job opportunities, how to go about it through specific provinces and the another way I can come to Canada, except education. That is my question, please.
Jobs. There are so many jobs in Canada.
What is the website for the Canada immigration?
It is IRCC.
IRCC.ca.
They'll find it on my channel. It is IRCC. Right for them.
I want to write then. Let me post it there.
They have to go through Canada.ca, and then when they go through Canada.ca, yes, it's that one. It's IRCC. Yeah.
Okay. For those who speak Swahili, there is a YouTube channel for Swahili, EBM Swahili. You can find me there too.
And we are going to do a video there for Swahili.
Yeah. Hello, Joyce. How can I apply for aviation security jobs in Canada? Peter Wall from Uganda.
Yeah, so many in Quebec. Quebec has got even so many universities for aviation. We know that Quebec produces the best aviation courses. You can actually apply to come and study in Quebec for any aviation program, even for short ones, like 1 year. Then after that, you renew another 1 year. That is an easier way for coming.
Okay. Someone is watching from Somalia. I'm not answering questions about the green card lottery. Let's focus on Canada today. And even at the background today, we put Canada flag. We say, okay, America be away for a while. We're in Canada today. Yeah, so today we're in Canada. So people should know that. Okay. I have education and very professional skills worker. Can I fit for immigration to Canada?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Just the easy way, subscribe to the channel, her channel. You'll be able to get everything, every resource, lawyers, addresses, agencies, website, steps, how to do it. Everything is there. Watching from Czech Republic, glad to see you too. Thank you, Prince Owusu. Already, you have already answered that one. Please, how can I come to Canada? I'm from Somalia. All the procedure you have been able to talk, and the video will be there. You can be able to do that. Aicha from Cameroon, Yaoundé.
My best friend is from Cameroon. She's here. Welcome, Aicha. Yeah, people from Cameroon are Francophone. They're welcome. Francophone people are welcome.
Do I need to take IELTS, the English proficiency exam, to go to Canada?
Yes, at some point you're going to need it, but don't rush to do the IELTS first. Do the CRS score. Do the CRS score before you do the IELTS. Then when you do your CRS score and you find that you qualify, then you can do the IELTS. Don't rush to do the IELTS first, because you're going to pay so much money for it, and you're not sure which program.
Good, thank you. Because the way to prove you know English is not, oh, you know, I went to English medium school. Give a certificate.
Yes. Simple. I have done a video on that. Yes.
Yes, we agree there is racism around the world, but most of these programs, these opportunities, okay, give us this document. We want it, for instance, is graduate school, we want this GPA. Do you have it? Yes. We want the English proficiency score of this match. We want you to write this one. We want recommendation letters. So if you have everything, yeah, but if you don't have, oh, these people are racist, why are they asking for English proficiency? How can we prove you know English? You're in Africa. How can I know? Okay. Okay. Hi, Joyce and EBM, my two favorite platforms from Vena.
Thank you, Vena.
Okay. How can I get education, a special master's degree? Okay, so let me answer this in general. If you want to apply master's scholarships in Canada, go and do the English proficiency test. Don't tell me, oh, there are a few universities they give waiver. Don't settle for less. Go and do the English proficiency test. Make sure you have upper secondary class GPA. Then write a statement of purpose. Then make sure that you apply to the university which says they are giving scholarships. In Canada, if you apply for scholarships, still you have to pay for application fee, which it ranges from 30 to 100, depending on the universities. And you don't apply 3-4 universities, you apply 15, 20, because you are not the only one who is looking for scholarships. The difference between the US and Canada is one. There's something in Canada, but in the US you do extra exam. They have GRE, GMAT, LSAT, all those kind of MCAT exam. Most of the Canadian universities, they don't have those ones. Some they have. In Europe, it's just the English proficiency test, no application fee. So, but almost all they are there. And that's why I have all these books here. people need to get these books. For instance, this one, even if it says PhD scholarships to come to America, still the procedure is the same. The difference is just those few exams, they are different. But this one is on my website, which is for free to download it. Or you can get this one, people can be able to read and get these books, and you can be able to understand. Okay, someone is from Congo, Brazzaville. We have people from everywhere today. From George N. King. I'm both your biggest fans.
Thank you, George.
Yeah, let me do it this way. Let me put there. Subscribe to Joyce K. Just go there and type. That's why I put in the capital letters. If you do that, you're able to do or the other way. Let me do the easy way. Let me so if you just start just typing Joyce K Nurse, it will come Joyce K Canada. Go direct from on the comment. Okay, the link is on the comment. Just go there and subscribe right now if you haven't done so, and watch the videos. I usually tell people, if I'm looking for scholarship or I'm looking for opportunities to go to any country, it is easier than before the time I was looking for scholarships. Why is it easier? Every information is on YouTube. Looking is already given by someone. If I want to come to US, I don't know if you're able to see me. If you want to come to US, I have my channel. I have everything about US. You want to go to Canada, everything Joyce is talking about Canada. So what you need to do, take a piece of paper and book and start writing. Watch the video, take notes. You don't understand something, ask a question on the comment. It is very easier. Everything is already articulated and given forward for someone to go through in terms of the processes. So it is easy that way. So just go to the comment section here, and you'll see I posted the link. You can be able to see on the comment, and you can be able to subscribe in that way. Hi, Joyce from Fifi. I plan on studying masters in mining engineering in Canada. Will it be easier to find jobs and in which province?
Yeah, focus on Alberta. Alberta has got a lot of mining, and they have a school that you can apply for studying. Alberta province.
Okay. And in mining engineering, that is a very good program.
Yes, you'll find a job after you graduate.
Prince Ibrahim Salisu, IBM and Joyce, thank you for the good work. Babs from Ghana, living and working in Spain. Tell Joyce that I've written her last week, but no reply.
Prince, let me write somewhere, Prince.
Okay.
I'm going to respond for you because you followed me all the way here.
Okay.
Prince, I have to reply. I'll look for it.
But yes. Sometimes it's very, very difficult. For instance, I can give it to, for instance, from May 1st, from May 8th, when the results came out for the DV lottery, I received over 5,000 DM messages from Instagram. I have 3,000 emails. I have thousands and thousands of comments. And I have my full-time job, and I'm full-time parent. So it is very tough. So when you get time, we just try to make sure that we try to answer those one. But I believe whatever she gets the time, she'll be able to.
For you, Prince. I will.
Okay. What are the first steps I needed to take in relocating to Canada? I'm counting on you, Joyce.
Yes, you can count on me anytime. So the first step is, first of all, to assess your CRS score. Actually, the first step is to subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Subscribe so that you learn. You go and find a video that is called CRS score. That CRS score calculator is the guide. It is the only way to know whether you're coming to Canada or not. Because it is going to show you your points, whether you qualify and which area you qualify in. CRS score calculator. I have done a video on that.
Okay, there is one person posted the question. You know, let me go back.
Oh, something there before I forget, EBM, something very important. When you're doing your CRS score calculation, I know people keep asking me, do I have to do the IELTS first before I do the calculation? No, no, no. You gauge yourself. Like me, I know I have the potential to get 6.5 and above IELTS in English or French. You can either try French and English. Even before I do it literally, I go to CRS score and put 6.5. There's no crime in assessing yourself, and you're not being charged any money to assess. So just go and put there 6.5 and see how many scores you can attain.
There is this question coming up. I don't know whether it's, what's up with the Arima. The person asking the same question, that one, and the another person asking similar question.
What is Arima? I don't know what is Arima.
I think we are talking about the website. I think that's what I'm thinking about, which I posted. Is it? I don't know whether they're talking about this one. That's why. Okay. Okay. Why it is stuck now? Okao, I'm looking for your question. You say, please answer my question. I'm trying to find your question and I don't see it. Just quick question. As long as it's not a green card lottery question. Today we are answering questions about it. I don't see your question. Let me try to find it. Okay. Okay, your question, good morning. Well, it is evening on your end. I live in France. I'm yet have my document here. I study electrical electronic engineer. Please, can you help me to find job or vocational study in Canada?
Yeah, search under IRCC. You're going to find how to apply for vocational study in Canada. Those things are there. The opportunities are there, many of them. And you can actually come with your family. You can come with your spouse. And when you come with your spouse to Canada as an international student, either for vocational study or for whatever program, your children can go to school for free, either to a Catholic school or a government school. You are not going to be required to pay any money as an international student. And your spouse is going to get a work permit.
Okay. Yes, my internet connection today is a problem. Yeah, I'm so sorry, people. I'm so sorry. My usual when I do my live. When I do live interview, I usually connect direct to my computer, the internet. But today I'm doing the Wi-Fi, and then it has been raining a lot, so I don't know whether that's the problem. So that's the problem today. So I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Michael Lucas. Hello, Joyce. My name is Michael. I'm an advocate. That means a lawyer from Tanzania. Which Canadian province is the best for lawyers?
For lawyers, of course, lawyers are all over in Canada. But you remember, law is lawyers are under a regulated kind of career. So you need to find out how lawyers are get a license, because you cannot work in Canada as a lawyer without a license. That is the process I was saying. The easiest way for you, if you're not very old, and if you didn't finish your school a long time ago, come and do a program, and then look for a program that is going to absorb you into PR. For a lawyer, come as an international student.
That is the easy transition, because you learn the culture. It is easier to transition from student to permanent resident, and you already get their own education. So,
yes.
Okay, EBM. When I apply for PhD, would my wife and 3 children receive visas as well? Yes, but they don't get extra pay.
Yes, what I would advise you is that, you don't apply on the same day. Sorry, you don't apply on the same day when you're applying for your study visa. You apply yours alone. Once you get yours, once you get yours inside the bag, not when it is in the embassy. When it is inside your bag, go back to them. Tell them I cannot leave my wife because I need to go with her so that she can work as I studied, because she's going to get a work permit. And I cannot leave my children because of Corona. And I need to go with them, because with Corona, you don't know who is going to be sanitizing them. But first of all, get yourself a visa before you apply for them. Canada loves families. They are likely going to help you.
PhD is easier to bring the family than masters, because masters is 1 year, 2 year, but PhD they know is 3 to 5 years. So obviously there is massive justification for PhD. Hi, Joyce and EBM. Joyce, someone told me about Prince Edward is cheaper in education. Is it true? Happy Memorial Day, EBM.
I wouldn't say it is true, because, you know, colleges and universities in Canada are all different. But you can compare. I have done a video where I have compared Canada universities and their prices. You can compare and see whether you can find a cheap. But remember, we said that you don't even look at the price. What you look at, you should be asking me which province is easier for people to get permanent resident. And I'm going to tell you, look for colleges which are in Saskatchewan, because Saskatchewan absorbs many international students into permanent resident. Look for Saskatchewan. Look for programs in Saskatchewan. Yes.
Yes, she said, I will just go to check your email. As I've seen, I've been receiving a lot. Okay, we have already got a follower.
Thank you. Thank you, C.
Okay. Thank you, madam. I will chat with you one-on-one for more information. Subscribe first before you start asking one-on-one without subscribing and watching the videos.
And leave a notification bell on. Leave a notification bell on, because I can bring up a video and you get to miss it if you have not left the notification bell on.
Okay, so someone is saying Canadian immigration can be processed through express entry for the English-speaking provinces or ARIMA for Quebec. So that's why I know about Quebec, because of French. Sorry, that's what is ARIMA?
Quebec is separate. Quebec manages its immigration separately. Separately. They have their own thing, separate from the other provinces.
Okay, let me answer this question. I'm interested. I say it appears moving to Canada is more demanding than going to the US, right? Big no.
People don't want to work hard. People want easy.
Why? Let me tell you why going to Canada is not more demanding. Because the process of going to Canada, you are guaranteed to get a green card. But you can come to US and stay for 15 years, you don't have a green card. Even if you have a PhD, it doesn't matter. You get a green card unless otherwise the company. First of all, if you start bachelor, master's, or PhD, you get 1 year. It doesn't matter whether you study for 1 year or 5 years. You get 1 year of work experience to go to work. And that 1 year, doesn't transform to a work visa? Unless the employer wants you to give you the work permit, which is H1. Then they give you 2 years visa. Then the employer, if you are continue to be royal, will apply for green card for you. So it's a very long process. That's number one. So even if you study bachelor, master's, or PhD, it's difficult to go to become a permanent resident. Unless otherwise you get married, yes, that will be a guarantee. But in Canada, the processes, which, as I said to people, even me, for instance, in the US, if I want to go to Canada, I go and apply. These are my qualifications. So it's open to everybody with the qualifications. But in the US, even if you have PhD, you are vice chancellor in the university you are there, you cannot just apply, you get direct green card in Canada, in the US. Never. So in my opinion, Canada is easier to transform to permanent residence than in the US.
Actually, I want to add on that. Canada is easier even to become a citizen. I have done videos comparing Canada, USA, and UK.
Yeah.
For you to get to become a citizen in Canada is easier.
US until 5 years as a green card holder, or 3 years as marriage. If you get it by marriage, but the rest is Canada, 3 years you become a US citizen. I mean, Canadian citizen.
Yes.
Being from Canada and US, you just go like you are going to the toilet. It's just there. Yeah. So it's just like going there, coming here is easy. Okay. What's your channel's name? We put
Give them again.
Someone is asking, what's your channel's name? We have already put just read on the screen. Subscribe to Joyce K Nurse Canada YouTube channel. So you go and type Joyce K Canada. You'll be able to see the channel with the 21,000. We want today or tomorrow morning to be 22,000, and then you can continue from there.
Thank you.
I want to apply residency visa. May I get it?
Express entry.
Okay. Thank you, Auntie Joyce, for your insight and for answering my question.
Thank you.
We already answered. Please, any scholarships for technical or vocational schools in Canada, and how can I apply? First of all, what is your level of education? That's number one. Number two, just you can answer specific, but you have to check specific if the government has specific programs, but also go to different universities and look on what programs do they have. They offer scholarships if you are looking for scholarships.
That's true.
Do I have to calculate my points before I can start my process to Canada? I really need your guidance, Joyce, please.
Yes, you need to. You need to. Don't even do the English test or the French test. Assume that you have 6.5. Go and put 6.5. And you can be sure that the day you come to do the test, you'll get 6.5. Put 6.5 under English. Say whether you're married, your education level, your age. Put all those under CRS calculator. Check my video. I have explained how you can calculate.
Yeah. Don't lie, because they will need the documents. So just you put your age, you put everything to be able to calculate and say.
No, that one is not even in the way. That one is not even in the IRCC. It's not inside the application. It is something that you can assess before you enter into the application. It is like a calculator, so they can assume before they go into the real application.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
Hi, Joyce. Hi, Ibim Joyce. I have a bachelor degree in international relations. Can I get a job in Canada and be a permanent resident?
Come as a student. International relations, come as a student.
That's what I usually tell people. These jobs, you say, I'm political science, whatever. Yeah.
Come as a student. Look for a program. Look for a program.
When I upload even my degree in political science, I'll be political scientist, I'll become international relations officer, whatever. Yeah, but if you come to these countries, there are no more programs. So better way come as a student, and then from there, you'll be able to see how you are going about it.
Yes.
Another way can I come to Canada except education? That's why they told you about express entry and all other things, right? Because you're not coming as
the province. Yeah, you can come through the province, through the rural, through the Atlantic, through express entry. There are so many ways you can get a job offer. By the way, just before I forget, there's a job opening for truck drivers that I have advertised on my channel. Truck drivers in New Brunswick province. They want truck drivers, and there's going to be an online online recruitment on 11th June. When is 11th June? Oh, it is like 2 weeks to come. There's an online recruitment for truck drivers. Go and check that video and see whether you qualify. Yeah.
I put the link on my channel here in the comment. So go to that and you go and see that advertisement. Okay.
Thank you.
We have been here for an hour. Okay. So EBM and Joyce, you have already done by going through the YouTube videos. I will do as much to mobilize the friends to subscribe to both of your channels. I've done. I'm Button Sony from Uganda.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Green Blue IB, I'm graduating as a web developer and software developer in June 2022.
Good program. High demand.
Will this be allowed to apply?
High demand, very high demand. Finish, graduate, and pass. Yes.
Can immigrant apply to become in the Canadian Army? The answer is yes.
No, 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 no.
No, you have to become not just like a student. You have to become first. You have to do the process.
It is for permanent residents and citizens. Yeah, it is for permanent residents.
There is not join Air Force.
No. Oh, I saw that scam. It was circulating in Facebook. That one is a scam. Leave it alone.
Not this one. Like the person is Canada, has been there for over 11 years, and is a citizen now. So, but when you say is immigrant, not that you are, they don't give. You cannot become military of Canada or US from Kenya or from Tanzania. No, you must be in the country, be a permanent resident or a citizen first.
Yes.
To be allowed.
Yes.
Hi Joyce.
No, it is a site. It's not an app. It's a site. Go watch my video on CRS Core. Watch my video on that.
Please, people, go to the link. I put the link here. You can go and So I've already answered all these questions. So go to the go there and so we have done enough up to now. We have answered so many questions. We have done a lot. So I want people to make sure that they take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, because any question people are asking right now will be there. We have already answered the question. So I want people to take the opportunity to just go and check the video before you come to ask any question, because all the questions, I believe, they've been answered before. So thank you so much, Joyce, for taking the time, an hour and a half, 2 hours to respond to everybody.
Thank you.
If you have many questions about Canada, we'll come back to you, our expert.
Anytime I'll come back.
Yeah. Maybe I can ask you to ask me one question or 2 questions before we finish. Yeah, that will be, those will be the some of the best way to go about it. And just one sec. So what other questions do you have about for me?
I think most of the questions we have tackled them when we were talking, because my question was going to be if you were to advise an international student to come and study in Canada or USA, where would you give advice? But you answered that. So I don't have any other question.
Thank you so much for taking your time.
Yeah, but we are going to discuss that further when you come to my channel. So,
yes. So anytime
followers.
You can have a very good discussion there. You can ask now about America or about other European countries. I'll be happy to talk too much like a politician.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me end up here. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to be here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, EBM scholars. Guys, you guys, you're so advantageous to have EBM scholars with you. You can imagine how much I waited to find him. As in, I was looking for him. I kept writing him messages. I want to have him, to talk to him, and it was so hard for me. So guys, you guys are so blessed to have him. Follow his guidance, because you're not going to find anybody like him on YouTube. He's so researched. He's so inclusive. He has so much knowledge. If you follow his ways, you're going to get where you're going. And thank you so much, EBM, for what you're doing. May God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. And may God bless you for what you have been doing, especially for people to understand about Canada.
Thank you. Bye-bye.